Hey everybody, this is Downwhere. We're going to continue the Final Fantasy journey. We're almost done with Final Fantasy 3. We just gotta beat these last 5 annoying as hell bosses. I decided to cut out all the failed attempts, because do you really want to watch me fight the same fight repeatedly? I didn't think so. Except for the very last boss. I made a nice montage on those, but that's for the part after this one. Alright, so this is the last area. There's this center thing which you don't want to go in yet, or else you'll get fucked, because that's where the last boss is, and then there's 4 offshoot paths. Each one contains this weird little puzzle like this, with a bunch of super-powered enemies that are former bosses in the game, so that's annoying, and then they all have a ribbon in them, and it's always a trap! You always gotta fight a clone of Xande. I end up having to do this 4 times. I'm just going to show it to you the first time. You basically already saw me fight Xande anyway, so it's almost like watching it twice. I'm pretty sure I kicked the shit out of him pretty easily. Fucking Mighty Morphin Power Rangers reject enemy. That's what he looks like. Thundarger. 2700, not that great. Oh yeah, I forgot, he doesn't use his staff, he just does double axe handles. Yeah, that was a little bit painful. Not too bad. What do you expect from an inferior clone, am I right? Alright, Xande, and I use that name loosely. Holy shit! 9999 damage! Jesus Christ. This is one of my main problems I have in this whole end section is Dingus dies really easily because ninjas can put out a lot of damage, but they can't take much. Seems to take more damage than anybody else. Probably because he can't wear heavy armor, but then again, Luna's not wearing heavy armor. Bitch gotta be almost dead. There you go. You didn't even get the boss death, you just get the regular enemy death. Bleep, 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 bleep. Instead of the white flash and the dramatic fade to black. Alright, so I end up having to do that 4 times to get 4 ribbons, which you have to have when you fight the last boss, or you pretty much can't beat him. So, anyway, here's the first of the 4 mini-bosses you gotta beat. Which you also have to do if you want to have a chance at beating the last boss. You cannot stop the flow of darkness, this will be your final resting place. This one was the hardest out of the 4 mini-bosses I have to fight here. They all have about 100,000 hit points, which is already a pain in the ass. This guy gets 4 attacks, I think, or something ridiculous like that. So he killed me at least 2 or 3 times. I'm pretty sure this is like a couple of attempts in. I just left in the one where I finally beat him. Sorry if that ruins the suspense for you. I've got 11 shurikens left. I'm wasting one here. I kind of wish I had kept them all to the last boss, but whatever. What are you gonna do? I was really tired of fighting this guy at this point, because I'd already been killed by him a few times. I was just... I'll tell you a quick story. Ow! That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. Okay, maybe he only attacks 3 times. Either way, he's a piece of shit, and I hate him. The first time I played this game, I was playing it on my actual PSP the way you're supposed to, so I didn't have access to all the cheap-ass save states and all that kind of stuff. But I'd learned a long time before that, I think when I played Dragon Age the first time, that you gotta have more than one save file because it's possible to get trapped in an area where you can't get out of, and then you have to start the whole game over because there's no way to get out. So I had a save before I went into the Crystal Tower, and I had the one where I was in the Crystal Tower. So, I made it to about this point in the game, and I could not beat these fucking 4 bosses. They just kept kicking the shit out of me over and over again. So I think I tried skipping to fight the last boss. I was like, well, these 4 bosses are optional. I'm not going to fight them. I'll just skip to the Cloud of Darkness. Nope. If you haven't beat these 4 mini-bosses, then one of, I think it's either Lightning or Particle Beam, does like max 9999 on damage every time. So you have to beat these 4 fuckers or else you can't beat the last boss. So at that point I realized I can't beat this boss. I'm gonna have to go back to my old save from like a couple of hours before this and just hardcore grind and level up if I want to have any chance of beating the game. So that's what I did. I leveled up a knight to like really high level. I think Dingus was the knight, and he was able to protect my weaker characters from some of the harder attacks, and I managed to beat the last boss. But it was very frustrating and annoying. This time with save state technology and super cheese like that. See, once you get inside the Crystal Tower, there's no place to save. You can't save your game, so you gotta fight all these hard enemies that used to be bosses, then you gotta fight these mini-bosses. If you die at any time, that's it. You go back to your last save, which could only be outside the Crystal Tower, because you can't save once you go inside. So just imagine, if you will, how annoying that was. Beating one of these fucking 4 assholes, maybe 2, maybe 3, and then the 4th one kills you, or you kill all 4 of them, and then the last boss kills you, and you gotta do it all over again. So yeah. Oh. It was the same experience I had when I was playing it this time. It's been a while since I didn't remember it till I got to about this point. But, I was like, oh, this game's fun, and this job system's fun, and I think I might be a little bit over-leveled. I even said that on this playthrough. When I was thinking that on the first time I played it, and I was like, yeah, man, I'm kicking the shit out of guys. So, once I got to a certain point, I realized, oh no, I'm not over-leveled. It's just that the game gets super hard at the end. Alright, so, as you can see, Dingus repeatedly dies against my wishes. I told him I wanted him to stay alive during this fight, but he just won't listen to me. There is one thing that makes this doable. Every time you beat one of these 4 crystal mini-boss guys, you get all your hit points and magic points back, so you can basically go all out in every fight. Of course, you don't get your thrown items back, of course. I think I just said of course twice, but whatever, you should be used to my mumbling and stupid use of the English language by now. Alright, 5502. Try to get Dingus back in the game. We'll see how long he lasts this time. With 3 attacks from the boss, the odds of him surviving till I can heal him are not good. Okay. And if he does this to everyone... Yep! See you later, Dingus. Oh my god, that pisses me off so much. I rage quit several times in the last boss. I'm gonna leave all that kind of stuff in the montage. So I think I would say this was the hardest of these 4 mini-bosses that you gotta beat. I was honestly thinking I was gonna have to do what I did the first time I played the game, but I was just stubborn. I was like, fuck that, I got save states. I'm just gonna keep save stating and trying it again. So what I ended up doing basically was, when I kept failing over and over again on a boss like this, I would go to my save state and I would just wander around, fight random enemies, and try to level up and raise my job levels a couple of times. Then I'd use elixirs to refill everything, because by the end of the game I had a bunch of elixirs to give you all your hit points and magic points back. And then I tried again, and eventually it worked on this boss. You can probably tell at the beginning of each boss battle if I've actually done that or not, because the amount of hit points I have here will be less than it is on the next boss fight, I bet. Which indicates that I leveled up. I think at this point, yeah, I just gave up. I was like, okay, Dingus, you're not going to play a part in this fight, because you just keep dying over and over again, and I can't waste a turn reviving you if I ever want to kill this fucking thing. $5,400. Still doing pretty decent damage with Flare. Just gotta keep doing the same shit over and over again. I was paranoid that Luneth was gonna die, and he probably is going to, because... God damn it. Oh shit! Oh, that was lucky. See, this would have been another failure if I had just had the random luck of the draw of him attacking Lunith and killing him, or attacking Ark and killing him. If your healer dies in any one of these fights, you're pretty much fucked, because it's impossible to revive him and then get hit points back on him before he gets attacked again. It might sound like I'm bitching and everything, but I still did enjoy the game, and it wasn't like a slog of bullshit like Final Fantasy II. That's like the worst one out of all of them, I think. I guess I'll reserve judgment for after I've finished all of them, which will be in like 2050, something like that. Let's do some quick math. If I'm doing about 10,000 damage per round, it would take 10 rounds to kill this guy, but I don't think I've consistently done that much every round. He's gotta be almost dead. I've been wailing on him for a while. Please die. Please die, you piece of shit. Thank you! I was quite relieved when I beat this thing, but I also realized this is just the first of 4 of these fucks. And in the last boss, I was looking at the walkthrough, each one of these 4 mini-bosses was like level 56 or something, and I think when I got here I was level 52. I am a warrior of the dark, one of the 4 who stopped the flood of light 1,000 years ago. I have come to join you. Oh boy. Light and darkness attracted to each other, yet keeping themselves at a safe distance. They coexist in a precarious balance. If light and darkness come into contact, they cancel each other out, and nothing is left where they meet. That is the void. Tell me more about light and darkness. The universe began with the void, and will return to the void. However, there is one force that stands against the ever-present threat of the void. It is what you call hope. In time, the void will consume the world, but now is not the time. As long as there is hope in the world of light, and here in the world of darkness. For as long as hope prevails, the void shall be kept at bay. Great speech. Can't wait to hear it 3 more times. The last boss was like level 30-something according to the guide, which is horseshit because it fights way harder than any of these fucks. And these guys were like all a couple of levels higher than me, which is probably why I had such a hard time with some of them. Alright, here's the second one. This is the second hardest, I think. Darkness will flood the world and return it to the void. Sure it will. Ha ha ha, we will devour your meager light. Oh, god damn it. It's that 2-headed dragon from Godzilla. Oh wait, that one had 3 heads. Whatever. Alright. Boost. Gotta cast Protect on Dingus because he's a piece of shit. I think I had to fight this one a couple of times too. The last 2 I think I beat on my first try, but the first 2 of these optional quote-unquote mini-bosses I had to try a couple of times. This one I'm pretty sure was more than once. First one I think was like, could have been like 4 or 5 times or something ridiculous like that. Alright, Flare, Protect. I started doing that. I was like, Dingus can dish out a shitload of damage, but only if he lives long enough to do it. So if they decide to put all their attacks on him, he pretty much dies every turn. Then he can't throw shit. See how that's inconvenient? Alright, using up these shurikens. Got 8 left. Make that 7. 8,900 damage. Apparently you can boost twice and then do like 3 times as much damage. God damn it! Dingus is dead again, of course. I couldn't really tell if boost was actually worth doing or not, but I just started doing it because I didn't know and I was tired of losing, and I figured I'd try something else that supposedly was supposed to help. It seems like if you spend 2 turns to do a 3 times as much damage attack, aren't you just missing the first 2 turns where you would have just done 1 times damage and then it would all even out? But I don't think it works exactly like that, but I'm not sure really how it works. But I know I read somewhere that you can do more than 9999 damage, and I think you can do that with boost. So that's what I was going for. Eat it, bitch! Don't hit Dingus. Don't hit Dingus. Oh, you fucker. I think I was also not sure if Curaga would go off faster than Curaja, the highest level heal spell, so I think that's why I was still using that instead of the highest one. Eventually I realized it didn't actually make a difference. Yeah, I guess right there I'm using the top one. And another shuriken down. If he's alive at the beginning... What the fuck?! I remember that. I was like, these things cost 65,000 gil and you miss? You cunt. So yeah, he missed. I didn't even think that was possible. But yeah, he missed. Piece of shit. Oh god, that pisses me off even now watching this back. You fucker. Fucking missed. I can see how you would miss. It's a giant two-headed dragon that's about 3 feet away from you, so you know, it is a tough throw. Gotta use another shuriken now, because the other one missed. 9. Oh, he's gonna die, isn't he? Oh. At least this fucker only gets to attack twice. In theory, when I was looking at the guide, I was thinking to myself, Self, if you can get past these 4 level 56 mini-boss things, you're gonna be on easy street once you get to the Cloud of Darkness. He's like level 30-something. Wrong! Extremely wrong. No more flares. Alright. Quake, I don't know why it's like level 5 or 6, because it sucks. I think the trick to Quake is it's supposed to do the same amount of damage whether it's on one enemy or multiple enemies, so if you're fighting multiple enemies, it's worth using then, but besides that, it sucks. Because the other spells, if you spread it out among more than one target, it does less damage on each guy. But considering that the amount of damage it does in the first place is not that great, fuck Quake. Dingus is still alive? Maybe he'll live to the end of the fight. Well, this would be bad if he kills my healer. We need to kill this fucker now. Daigidra, or I don't know what the name of the multi-headed dragon from Godzilla is. Fun fact, me and my brothers used to rent all those things at this place you may have heard of. It used to be a video rental store called Blockbuster, and we would always rent all the Godzilla movies and watch them. Yeah, I don't know why I'm telling you that. Aha! Gotcha! You rubber suit freak! Okay. 2 down. I also love at the end of all these games, they give you like this insane amount of money for beating a boss. When the game's over, you don't have a reason to spend any money, so what good does it do to give you all this money? I am a warrior of the dark, one of the 4 stop the flood of light. I think they all start with the same fucking line, and then they give a variation after that. The balance between light and darkness is kept by the 4 crystals, the crystals of wind, fire, or water, and earth. When Zande halted the flow of time, the light of 2 of those crystals was sealed away. Because of this, the balance between light and darkness shifted drastically, and gave birth to the Cloud of Darkness, an entity whose sole purpose is to return the world to the void. The Cloud of Darkness tried to seal the 2 remaining crystals located on the floating continent. It created the earthquake that you have witnessed. It almost drew the floating continent to the surface world. The Cloud of Darkness is powerful, but with our powers of light and darkness combined, we are Captain Planet, and we may, I don't know, defeat it or something. So, 3rd one, I think this was like the easiest out of the 4. This one was a little bitch. I beat the shit out of this one. No problems here. Probably because I had hardened myself by fighting the first 2. The ebb of darkness is getting stronger. Soon none shall be able to stop it. As for you, you will never leave this place alive. Tough talk from a little bitch. Oh, it's a Cyclops bird thing with a tiara on its head. I am not impressed. That does really help, the fact that it refills all your shit after each one of these boss fights, or else I'm pretty sure it would be impossible if not for that, unless you were like level 99 or something like that with like maxed out job levels. Or you just had a shitload of elixirs. Which I did, but not enough to beat like this many bosses. Let's see what Thundaga does. Weak! You are pathetic. What the hell is he doing? That was interesting. Looked like he was squeezing out a fart, and then suddenly he did some damage to Dingus. Doing about 6,000 damage with Flare, that's pretty good. Let's see how much damage Lunith does. Viraga! I was trying to conserve thrown items at this point, I think. I realized, I'm gonna need these for the end, aren't I? And I did. I think I actually used up every item I had that I could throw when I fight the last boss. Don't do it. Good. Good bitch. Hit the one who has enough hit points to live through it. You prick. Did I already use up all my flares? I don't know why I'm using Firaga instead of flare. Whatever. Alright, Mr. No-Depth Perception. Get ready to get pwned. I guess Iroga probably would have worked on this guy since he's a flying enemy. No, I still had flares left, I just didn't use them for some reason, because I'm stupid, I think. Uh-oh, critical! Boom! I don't know why this one is so much easier, I think it's just because it couldn't do as much damage as the other ones. Is that all you got, you little bitch? Huh? Haste, motherfucker! You know it's an easier battle if I have time to actually haste Luneth and Dingus. Usually he's so busy having to heal every turn, or try to cast Protect on somebody, he doesn't get a chance to haste more than one guy. I figured one of the things about RPGs and like Final Fantasy games is a lot of times you have to refight a boss multiple times. I figured you don't want to watch the same exact fight like 5,000 times in a row just to see the last time when I finally beat him. So I think my strategy is going to be what I did in this one, where either I cut out all the times I failed, or if it's the very last boss, I'll do what I'm going to do in the last part of this, which will be after this one, where I kind of make a quick montage of all the times, just so you can get a quick overview of my rage building and building until I literally almost broke my controller. I usually am not one of those guys that rages and breaks shit, but this was like... I started playing this whole end section at like 11 p.m. after I got home from my friend's house. I was like, I'll just go ahead and beat the game. I think I'm at the end. It'll probably take an hour or two. Like 4 or 5 hours later, I finally saw the end credits. And it was a couple hours in when I thought I was going to beat the Cloud of Darkness. I was so close. And then just in the blink of an eye, he wiped out 2 out of 3 of the people that were still alive, and then it was just Dingus by himself. No, it was Luneth by himself, and he couldn't do shit by himself, so... He killed me, and I threw the controller on the ground. I can't remember which one of my deaths it was, but I know it's one of the ones I recorded. I recorded all the fights with the last boss. Rambling. I'm hoping that, watching these boss fights, obviously what you're going to want to do is do whatever the most effective strategy is to win, especially if it's really hard. Gotcha! So I'm hoping that you guys aren't getting bored from watching all these boss fights, but if you are, I'll try to make some adjustments for the later videos, but I think this is alright. I just have to come up with stuff to talk about, like I have been doing. So you don't notice that I'm just doing boost, attack, Kiraga, flare, I'm a warrior of the dark, same blah blah stock line. Light and darkness, one cannot exist without the other, much like the sun and the world. Zonde severed the link between the world and the sun, creating a world without day or night, a world devoid of time. But Zonde did not foresee that his actions would call forth the cloud of darkness, so that he would be put under its control. If we do not stop the cloud here and now, not only will your world be engulfed in darkness, but the worlds of light and darkness will both be devoured by the void. If we, the warriors of the dark, and you, warriors of the light, combine our powers, we may be able to stop it. Did 1,000 years ago, blah 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 blah! These fucking nights, God, they're so boring. Okay. 4th one, here we go. You motherfucker. You have done well to come this far, but this is as far as you go. The darkness will engulf the world and return it to the void. What the hell is this ugly freak, weird-looking thing? Is that side boob? In a Nintendo game? I am scandalized by that side boob. There's probably even visible ass crack if you could scroll up a little bit. Don't do it! No! I'm wasting shurikens on this bitch. Yeah, I was getting more and more impatient as the night wore on, about whether or not I'd be able to finish the game. So, thus why I came in with, like, I don't remember how many shurikens, and by the time I get to the last boss, I think I got 3 left. Oh, it's Tornado, that worthless spell. It doesn't even work for the boss. If it hits, it puts you down to 1 hit point, so that's inconvenient, but it doesn't work. This one's not too hard either. Can't remember if it was quite as easy as that floating eyeball thing, but it's not too difficult. Alright. 9 damage. Critical. Tearing this bitch up. What the? Ha! Your 1-hit death bullshit didn't work on me, side boob. Gotcha. Alright, got 2 hasted dudes. Everybody's doing decent as far as hit points go. Looking good, fellas. I'm sure at this point I was starting to get a bit overconfident. I was like, well, this fight's going pretty easily. Another critical! Man, the last boss doesn't stand a chance, level 30-something. Ha ha ha! Oh! I hate the Cloud of Darkness. It traumatized me. Yeah, your spells aren't very good there, side boob. I don't think anybody gets hit with that tornado move. Nope. Which is a wasted turn for you. You know you got a snake growing out of your ass, right? That can't be comfortable or natural. You might want to see a doctor about that. Can't believe I'm having a feud with Blanca's sister. I don't know why I'm bothering do Meteor. I think I was just trying to show off at this point and trying to do some different stuff instead of the same thing every turn. But as we've already established, Meteor sucks. It's probably another one of the ones that works better on multiple enemies. Miss! Your insta-death shit doesn't work. Suck it. Holy moly. This'll do like 2,000 maybe. Oh, 3,000. Not bad. Meteor! Weak. Weak. Now stop doing Meteor, Self. Okay, Self, I won't do it again. That's what I thought. You dead yet? This bitch has got to be almost dead. I've been pounding the shit out of her. There we go! 4 up, 4 down. All that remains between us and the end game screen is another boring speech by one of these knights, and then the Cloud of Darkness. Here we go. Stock line first. Warrior of the blah 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 blah. Come to join me. Yeah, I can tell. That's why you attacked me, dick. The Cloud of Darkness had also appeared when the light threatened to engulf the world 1,000 years ago. We, the Warriors of the Dark, managed to stop it then at great cost. 1,000 years later, the balance between light and darkness is inverted. Light had existed around a core of darkness, but darkness now revolves around a core of light. Oh my god, darkness, light, lightness, dark, overflowing darkness. The extent, oh my god, fuck you, a flood of darkness. Warriors of the blah, 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 darkness, light, darkness. Oh my god. Okay, so... one more part to go, and we're ready for Final Fantasy IV. So, if you guys liked this video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. You can follow me on Twitter at D0WNWHERE. And you can support me on patreon.com/downwhere. I appreciate everybody that's been supporting me on Patreon. I know I'm not, like, super successful on there or anything like that, but every little bit helps, and it's definitely something that helps me every month, and I do appreciate those of you that can afford to help. So, this is Downwhere, and I'll see you next time.